Praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. This is Sister Elizabeth, and I am continuing the series on tabernacles. Like I said before, it's like this subject is like a diamond. So we'll just be looking at the different things that will be going on. For today's lesson, the best way to understand this lesson is through a narrative. What is a narrative? A narrative simply is a story or that tells somebody's journey. For in this instance, we are talking about the human race. And when you hear about the human race, most people go just to Genesis and they say, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth and everything therein. The problem is, if you start there, you do not have the whole story. There's a whole lot that we need to learn first so that we can now better understand why things are the way they are. So in our narrative, we have to go back to Ezekiel 28:11 to 17. And I'm not going to read all of it. You go and read for yourself, okay? I'll just read the highlights because there's a lot to cover in this video. So it says, Ezekiel 28, starting from verse 12, and I'm jumping. You were the seal of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stones adorned you: chameleon, chrysolite, emerald, topaz, and I'll jump. You were anointed as a guardian cherub, for so I ordained you. You were on the holy mountain of God. You walked among the fiery stones. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created till wickedness was found in you. So I will not finish that. So we see the creation of Satan. Actually, that's what it's talking about. And then there was an attempted coup. Okay, and we see this in Isaiah 14:13 to 14, and it says, "For you said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit on the mount of the congregation on the farthest sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." That is what Satan tried to do. And he, with not only that, he took a third of all the heavenly beings. So that is, they tried to take over their creator. That's what happened. Isaiah 14 verse 12, we read this: "How you are fallen from heaven, O Lucifer," that's another word for Satan, "son of the morning, how you are cut down to the ground." Okay? And there was war in heaven. And we read this in Revelation 12, 7 to 9. Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. The dragon is another name for Satan. He has Satan, Lucifer, dragon, and many others. Verse 8, "But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him." Okay? After that was done, then the Lord created the human race, and we go to see that in Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female. He created them. And then in Genesis 2 7, then the Lord formed a man from the dust of the ground, and he breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and then man became a living being. So now we see already what has taken place. By the time we come in, the Satan and his demons, that's or angels, now had been evicted out from heaven, and now Satan tried to hurt God by lying to us. So when by the time we come to Genesis 3 verse 11, we see that Satan lied to the woman Eve, and because she believed him. Go back and read Genesis 3:11. I'm not going to cover that. And and also introduced Adam to the counsel that the enemy gave us. Remember, when God created the earth, he gave the human race dominion over the earth. He gave them charge to also take over and rule the earth. Okay? But we failed. And earth is a kingdom, if you did not know. Earth is a kingdom, has always been a kingdom. So when we lost, Satan took that opportunity and took charge of the earth, of the earthly kingdom. Okay? So when he did that, the Lord now came and gave us a hint of how he was going to redeem us. And this is, but God had mercy on us and promised to deliver us one day by using the seed of the woman. Okay? Now, the seed of the woman was the plan of salvation. So it started right from there. By the time, like I said, we lost the dominion, we lost the kingdom, we lost the earth, we lost ourselves, we lost everything. But much, much later, we see that there was a flood on the earth, on Genesis chapter, God was, Genesis chapter 6. By the time the flood came in, there were was only one family that had been left on the earth that were actually pure, and I will say pure in their genes, genetically poor, because Satan introduced, I don't know how he did it, but there were some angels that God had asked them to come and do some assignments, but Satan already used those angels to lie to them, and they started sleeping with the women that were on earth. I know there's a lot that has been taught by some pastors saying, oh, that race was Seth's race, and not Cain's race. No. They are spiritually blind. That's why and Satan has been corrupting and trying to hide the truth. Okay? But actual angels started sleeping with women, and they started having hybrid kids. Okay? So those kids were corrupted, and that's what we call the Nephilims and the aliens and God knows what else. Everybody you see on earth today is not human. I'll tell you that, because God has opened up my eyes and I can see, I can hear, I know there are people today who are still corrupted, because when God sent the flood for Noah, there were those people, it says the Nephilims were there were before 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 the flood and even after the flood. But only Noah, his wife, and his 3 sons were genetically pure. But unfortunately, the children, the sons, they married. They married some people that were before the flood. And that's how the Nephilim came back in, with exception only one, Shem. His wife was genetically pure rather. But the rest, genetically, the wives, there was something wrong with that. That's how we came to continue to have the giants, okay? And by the time now David comes in, those were the giants that he was dealing with, okay? There were the Nephilims, there were the hybrids, and God knows what it is, other stuff. And those are the ones also who started teaching the human race witchcraft. And witchcraft is this, accessing the spirit realm illegally. That's what witchcraft is, and manipulation in the spirit realm. Okay? So that was Genesis 6. Now, by the time, God did the reboot with Noah and his children, okay? Which was Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Okay, that is Genesis 6, 9 to 11. Okay, so if you look today, there are evidences of what happened, and like the pyramids, they still, even today, with all the knowledge that we have gained, they still do not know how they built the pyramids. Why? Because we didn't build them. It was done with the knowledge of those Nephilims and those aliens, okay? And I will stop this right now, okay? And because and I'll divide it into 2 so that we will be able to gather the information that we need. Praise the Lord.